good evening. I'm Foothills Weather Network Chief Meteorologist Chris White. It's fall finally. It finally feels like fall outside with cooler temperatures, and that means it's time to take a look at the 2017-2018 Chick-Fil-A winter outlook. I caution you that this is just an outlook. This is just looking at a pattern that could evolve December, January, and February of the upcoming winter season. The main pattern set up moving through here, we got a weak La Nina that we believe is going to be in place, and that's where we have cooler than normal Pacific Ocean temperatures down across the equator. And normally with that we get a more northern jet stream. The jet stream is forced off to the north. The southern jet stream is not as amped up, and we get less moisture into the area, so therefore we end up in drier conditions across the south. But there is a battleground along where that jet stream does set up, where we think it'll be wetter than normal, also cold, and it could mean a snowy scenario or wintry scenario for the Great Lakes over to the northeast. It'll be warm and moist, it looks like, across the western two-thirds of the nation. Moving forward, a secondary pattern set up that we think could happen a couple times this coming winter. That is with a more amped up ridge over the Rockies, a bigger trough down over the central and eastern parts of the United States. Again, fronts and systems moving along this, and we know we get Alberta clippers a lot. So this is a favored track for those Alberta clippers to come down and then scoot off to the north and east. So that's something we'll watch with this system too. All being said, cool right along where this boundary sets up, but cold to the north, mild and still dry across the south, we believe. One fly in the ointment we will watch. Sometimes with these progressive systems, we get an upper level low that'll cut off and kind of meander here along the south, and it can really change things as far as the outcome of winter for the season. So looking at the zoomed in now on the precipitation maps, looking at a drier than average winter season for the places across the lowlands of South Carolina. Then average for western North Carolina and our entire viewing area, except for the mountains, and where we believe it'll be just above average with those Alberta clippers with the progressive jet stream patterns and stuff moving and racing off to the southeast pretty quickly. Northwest flow snow there. So temperature wise, we're thinking that with the warm Atlantic and the warmer than average Gulf of Mexico, we believe that we're going to be slightly warmer than normal too this winter. Now that's just not saying that it's going to be hot and 70 degrees around here come January. What it is saying is it could be slightly warmer. The average temperature come the heart of winter season here across our area is 50 degrees. And so we think it'll be slightly warmer than that and average across the mountains. So coming up, the higher chances of ice, we think. There is a greater chance of seeing an ice storm this coming year. So as the high pressures ridge down the eastern slopes of the mountains, it's a typical winter scenario here, where it builds up against the mountains and you get ice accretion west and northwest of Raleigh, all the way through our area, and then higher chances up into the mountains. So let's take a look now at those snowfall accumulation probabilities across the area. And again, this is just a hypothesis at best for our area, given the setups that we see across the southeast. Starting up around Pinola and Jonas Ridge, normally you see 16.3 inches of snowfall in a season. We're going to go just above that because of northwest flow snow and go 18 inches this coming winter for northwest Burke County, bringing it down to Morganton, Valdez, and Hildebrim. On average, 4.8 inches because of that snow shadow just east of the mountains. So only averaging 4.8 inches of snow, but we're only thinking we're going to get around 4 this coming season. Back up the mountain we go now into Little Switzerland and northwest McDowell County around the Alta Pass. 16.7 inches of snow on average there, and we're thinking somewhere on the order of 18.5 inches for that area. Back down the mountain now into Old Fort and Marion, 6.6 inches of snow on average, and 6 inches is all we're going to see this winter, we believe. And this is over the months of December, January, and February. Up the mountain we go, Caldwell County, Globe, Edgemont, and those areas. 19 inches of snow on average there. We're thinking we're just above that at the 21-inch mark over toward northwest Caldwell County. Bringing it down now to Lenoir and Hudson, Granite Falls, 6.8 inches of snow on average. We're thinking 6 inches is about what we're going to muster out this coming winter season. Alexander County, Taylorsville, and Ellendale, 6 inches of snow on average. We're thinking 5.2 inches of snowfall this coming winter. Dropping down into Hickory, Newton, and Conover, 7.7 inches of snow on average. We're thinking just below that, though this season was 7 inches of snow. Down in Lincoln County and High Shoals and Morganton, 5.9 inches on average. And we're thinking only 4.7 inches for a snowfall accumulation this entire winter. Coming back southwest now to Cleveland County, Kings Mountain, and Shelby, 5.1 inches of snowfall, averaging on an average year. 3 inches of snow is what we're going to get this coming season. And last but not least, Rutherford County, from Rutherfordton to Forest City, it's 4.7 inches of snowfall on a regular season, and 4 inches is what we're going to get this coming winter. That is our winter outlook. Again, it's just an outlook. We will try to narrow down those forecasts as we get closer into the winter and heart of the winter season. We hope for snow, and some people don't. So that's what we think is going to happen. I'm Foothills Weather Network Chief Meteorologist Chris White.